Hey Aistis. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 360 Scale Podcast. I bet that you haven't seen something like this. We had a chance to invite Domantas to talk in person to do a workshop on how to actually do the research, how to find the right product, and how to, most importantly, launch it. We are just opening up everything in terms of websites that we're using, forums that we are scraping.
So this is very small community, see? Okay.
Domantas, he is an experienced marketer. Worked with a few agencies, had his own consulting gig, and most importantly now he runs a very successful e-commerce brand, his own one. He actually started implementing that strategy that we are actually covering today that brought him crazy results, 50, 100k months right away. You can just expect having all details that you actually need to find, pick, and launch the right product into this crazy competitive market, and most importantly to be successful at that.
Welcome to 360 Scale, a podcast for A-level entrepreneurs looking to scale their business beyond 7 figures. Learn from those that have actually made it in the world of e-commerce with actionable steps you can apply right now.
Okay, Domantas. So today we have pretty big topic. We have a lot of different topics to cover in that product research area. So I believe we can just dive deep straight away into things.
Yeah, sure.
You can start from your introduction, like how you got into product research and how it went for you, and then we're just covering, all your plan that you got today.
My quick introduction. Basically, I've been working in the agency world for like 3-4 years, but my goal always was to create my own e-commerce. I feel like a lot of people who work in agency as a marketers, a lot of them actually dream about having their own agency, not working to the clients. Basically a year ago I started to go deeper into basically just executing, starting my own e-commerce business. I had a lot of questions in my head and a lot of problems. Basically, how do I find the right product for me to sell? Because I already had some experience working in marketing, and I knew how the scale looks like. So I knew that the product couldn't be just anything, It couldn't be just a random product that you sell, because I wanted to create a proper brand, not just a one-time project kind of drop shipping thing.
Yeah.
I started reading some books. I started doing my research. I actually had a really hard time because I went to the traditional route where I started from the product. I was looking, from in AliExpress. I was looking at Amazon, and I was just thinking which product I would like to sell. And I feel like it's not the best route, because you don't have any thinking process to go through, and you're just trying to select the products based on your kind of what you feel like would sell the best, or you feel like it's cool, or every person is different. But I started reading some books, and I found out there is a different kind of way how you can approach this, and I feel like it's solved me a lot of issues. So basically the idea is to go from the like Gary Vee likes to say it, reverse engineering. So that's kind of the way you can go about it.
Yeah,
basically
you're just rebuilding everything from scratch.
Yeah, so basically the first thing you want to go from is thinking about the audience you want to sell in. And I'm talking more from my own advertising experience. I had many different clients and different products that I sold, and I noticed that for me personally, I really like selling products to the girls, just because I even like, writing copy for girls, because I know that girls are more, taking decisions based on their emotions, and I just really like this aspect.
Yeah. So right now your girlfriend is going to be mad on you, but
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, like it's a good point, because a lot of people in the market, they just try to start not from the actual audience, but on the product side. In your case, you just reverse engineered everything, and you just started from the audience, because you just understood from your marketing experience that it's the most important part, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Because like when you start scaling the business, then you need to have the right cogs for the products. If you want to have really good brand, you also need to have a lot of repeat customers, because that's really helping when you start scaling it. And also like satisfying the customers is like the key thing for the e-commerce business.
Yeah.
And also like personally, you want to feel good about selling something. And if you selling to someone that you don't really have any interest at all, like in that audience, that's going to be hard as the founder and the CEO, just to kind of push yourself to sell that stuff. So that's why I really like start by just writing answers to your questions, like first, like what kind of audience are you into. So there's multiple ways how you can find it out. So in my way, it was basically based on the experience that I had in the working with the other clients, and I saw that for me, I really enjoyed working for more feminine products, and I knew that for me the audience is going to be girls, the younger ones, from like 18 to let's say 40, and that's kind of my range.
But it was just because you just understood that audience. I mean, like you just had experience in understanding their language and how those girls they just react to things, in overall where they hang out and all that? Or it was just like that you were interested in that audience, you understood that it's a main audience that's buying in from Facebook ads, and they are into emotions?
Yeah.
What was the decision behind it?
I feel like I just really like looking at the whole design of those brands that sell more feminine products. I feel like I'm more pulled towards that kind of design and the look and the feel and the motions. I actually really enjoyed watching Shane Dawson video with Jeffree Star. So maybe some of the people, it will be quite funny for me to watch it, but they were that documentary, they were creating makeup, and I really enjoy watching it and seeing how you can create like a masterpiece, and then sell it millions and millions of dollars. So yeah, it just was very clear to me where I what kind of design and what kind of products I was really enjoying working in. And also the whole audience, for me, it was in my eyes, it's much easier to work with, because they just, I feel like, share more information. It's just easier to communicate. Yeah. Of course they have certain negative points, but I just from the very beginning I was always pulled into that direction. And like even before I even started the my own e-commerce, I knew that at some point I will be selling some sort of feminine products for sure.
Yeah, and it's a good mindset to have. Like it's completely on point, because these days, if you understand your audience, like you are not into their language and overall the mindset and everything in between, then you just simply won't be successful. Because these days it's all about organic content. It's all about being in the communities. Those people, they just need to understand, they want to understand everything what's behind the the project and overall brand. And if you are selling but you don't understand them and how they react to things and how to present them, things, you simply won't be successful. So in your case, it's completely on point. You just took the audience that you want to be into, you understood it, and yeah. But like maybe you can right now we're just covering how you got into that, what points let you understand the audience. But let's say let's pick me as an example. Like I'm not into I'm not into an audience. Let's say I'm not I'm not sure about where they're hanging out, what type of objections they might have in their head, how they are speaking, how they're reacting to things. So maybe you can just quickly walk me through on how to actually understand the main points, while not only for the marketing part, but more or less for the product part, when you are actually looking for the product.
Do you mean like to understand more about the audience you would want to be in?
Yeah.
So it's very, it's very different for each person. And that's where I want also to expand is just, I would, start by asking loads of questions to you, like, maybe you had some sort of hobbies, or you have some sort of hobbies that you really enjoy doing. So maybe that could be one of the ways how you can find out like which audience you would like to sell. Maybe you are into yoga, or you're into like wakeboarding sports, maybe that could be one of the kind of ways how you can find out your audience.
Okay, but like in your point of view, in your experience, like let's say I'm into wakeboarding, I'm into that type of niche and into that type of product and the audience overall, and how you would say, how would you measure the success? As an example, how to put everything in one place, like just as an example, I'm into things that are not, they don't have the lifetime value, they don't have some kind of a big audience. So in your opinion, like which area of your hobby is more important? Is it like to have the technical fundamentals of the product, that it should have lifetime values and pretty big audience and all that, or it's that you just have that hobby in place, or you should just combine those two things in one place just to have everything?
I feel like having all the technical things in the product is very important, because like you can create a brand, you can create the products, you can sell it, but then if it doesn't make sense in the long term, like you cannot truly like scale it really far, or it's the business is not going to be that scalable, or the COGS, let's say, is super expensive, or the product costs is very low, let's say. There's so many different things, but you can definitely make it, but it would be way harder to do it. So that's why you need to like just measure, what's for you. It's more important. Like let's say you don't have that much experience. Do you want to start with a product that's going to be super hard to scale it, or I want to have the easier kind of route? But with the audience, in the beginning, like the first thing, you shouldn't be very specific with it. What I meant was just like, you want to sell to men or to women, first of all, like for you, like what do you prefer selling, women or men?
So I would say women, in my opinion.
Okay, so do you want to sell to the younger audience or to the older audience?
I would say I'm more into older audience from my background, but in this case, let's pick the younger audience, because it's just like the TikTok and all those trends.
So that's it. You have women and the younger audience. Now you have filtered down loads of different products, and my kind of way to now selecting the product would be start looking at what kind of problems these girls basically have. So they have loads of beauty product problems. Then they have loads of lifestyle problems. What other problems they could have?
In your case, in your opinion, let's say you are into problem solving products, or you could also be into the project that just has that high emotional statement product, like some kind of a jewelry, trendy one. Which one is better in your case?
I feel like to sell, for me, it's easier to have a very, very clear kind of problem solution. I feel like for social media, like for Facebook, let's say, it's easier to sell, in my eyes, a product that has certain problem solution. Let's say for TikTok, I feel like it would be easier to sell a really cool jewelry or some sort of like cool product that looks cool on just screen. So that's also the question you want to answer, like whether you want to go with a very kind of problem solving product, or you want to sell some sort of accessory for that audience. So that's also would be a question that we would need to answer.
Let's say we are into problem solving products, now I believe, the following step would be just to choose the actual category, because we know that, as an example, right now, as we just have the audience, we have, young audience versus old. We pick young, and now we have, the problem. So right now, I believe we should just dive deep into how to actually choose the category, because it's basically it's going to be one of the most important parts. It's going to be the thing that you are going to work on for another 2, 3, 4 years. And if you pick the wrong one, I believe it doesn't matter if you have the right gender, the right age, or whatever. It's going to be the decision maker. I would say so.
Just want to quickly conclude everything before we go to
for sure
actual research. So for the audience, whoever are going to do their first or the second, third e-commerce, so the plan would be first to think what kind of audience they want to go with. So either it's going to be men or women, or that can be both as well. Whatever you prefer based on your experience or your likes. Then think about whether you want to sell to a younger one or the older one. Then do you want to sell the product that has a certain problem solution, or it should be more appealing to the screen, like accessory or some sort of other cool products. Just keep in mind that if you select the accessory, I feel like it would be a bit harder, in my eyes, to sell it than problem solution, because even from a copy perspective and from a marketing perspective, I feel like it's a bit easier to justify the cost and the need for the problem solution product, just because you can really go deep into why this guy or girl needs the product. So that's the first things you need to answer. You can do a bit more research and ask even more questions about yourself, and that would be basically the first step you want to do. So let's then go into the research. So there is different ways, definitely, how to do the research. You can go through YouTube, you can go to Google, Reddit, Amazon. Basically anywhere where is the products and where is discussions going on. But the main goal for you is to understand the problems basically that the girls have.
So you just start by problems, and then you just narrow down by the problem. But my question here right now, as an example, when you're a business owner, you definitely have that mess in your head. You definitely have that, a lot of different sounds going on, and like how to actually, pick the right one, how you would pick the problem in all that mess that we have right now in the market.
Yeah, that's also a good question, but very difficult one, because like I feel like there's no, at least I don't know any specific way to like somehow measure, if this category is good. The way I did it was based on my inner feeling, like, okay, I picked this product. I started going deeper into the research, which we're going to explain a bit later.
Yeah.
Just seeing, if all the back end and all the numbers looks good. And then, you decide finally if this is the right product. But initially, the first step where you like start researching through the products, you don't know yet what are the cogs or how to sell it. If it has any repeat customers. I feel like it should come from you. I feel like this is a very creative process.
Yeah.
At least it was for me. I was just researching. I was looking at different girls' problems. I was looking at those, products, like what are the competition. And then I initially felt like, okay, maybe I would want to work with, this specific product. And
like I believe it goes, in the same line. When you actually understand the audience, which was, our first part of this research, then you will definitely understand what problems they face. So, you just take out those problems and then you just pick the right one. But right now, let's just continue with picking the actual category of the products and the problem.
Yeah, so I really like going through Reddit, because in the Reddit you will find loads of different kind of topics going on. So so there was no prep before this podcast. So yeah. We're just going to be doing a raw kind of research. So yeah, I typed girls. I'm just looking at if there is anything. So one of the biggest kind of categories, so you can also like Google. I'm not truly sure like what kind of would be the right keyword to find out girls' problems, but like
you can just like maybe type something like top 5 problems that women face or something like that.
Top 5 problems that women face. Usually when I was trying to research this kind of thing, it's usually not anything to do with the e-commerce. It's more for lifestyle, bunch of issues.
I see in the top in the Google suggestions, pretty good one actually, which is like position of power. And these days, women, they just need to feel that one. And if you try to, as an example, even if it's not directly into e-commerce, but at the same time, then you can just dive deep into the type of problem and how they want to feel, and then you can try to find the right category that could be a fit.
So basically you can start with Google just to researching like what kind of problems your audience have. So now it's just like very hard to like think of kind of right keyword to do. I remember when I was doing it, I needed at least like 1 or a few hours to basically just understand what kind of issues they had. But we can actually go into Reddit and let's say we know that there's a lot of issues in the skincare, like girls really take care of their skincare. So we can start basically by just opening a few of the skincare
like
channels.
You are trying because like from my experience, I just heard some stories, when people, they are just trying to find the problem that hurts so much that you just need, the right marketing positioning and, the product in front of their face, and that's enough. So you are trying to find, those general topics like just, some kind of problem, or very specific problem that really hurts, some kind of, acne problem, or, what type of, how big your problem should be.
Yeah, so for this one, it should be very like general, like you just want to know in what areas they are facing the problems, because then let's say that they're facing a lot of issues and problems and frustrations, let's say in skincare, then that you can go into Reddit and just open a few channels in Reddit and start reading more deep into that. You can also like go on YouTube and let's say open top skincare problems, and you can see top 10 most common skincare issues: dark circles, dry skin, dull skin, uneven skin tones, wrinkles, aging skin. So basically now you have loads of different topics you could go into and see what kind of problems you could solve. Then you can see top skincare brands, and you can see what's been doing quite good, and then go into those brands and see what kind of issues and problem solutions they are offering, and then start writing down like what you like about them. Maybe we'll find some certain product that you feel like, oh, this is really good, and you can start researching more about it. Also, a very important thing about the going through the brands is to look how the difference, what are the difference between them, like how they are unique. Because like if you go into the very generic kind of route, which is skincare, maybe not very generic, but I mean a very competitive one, you cannot just launch another kind of skincare brand where you sell a mask or
with the
cleanser,
same logo, with the same colors, and everything the same.
Basically you need to look at this with some sort of, you need to start actively thinking about how different you're going to be.
Actually, like I heard the strategy of Blue Ocean, on which like you are just trying to find the audience, and then you are looking for a problem in the product, and once you have some kind of problem, you have some brands that are already solving that problem. In the Blue Ocean, you are just trying to fill some kind of feature or benefit or whatever, just to stand out from the competition. And then what happens, like the CPMs, the CTRs doesn't matter for you. You just have completely unique product, in other words, Blue Ocean, and it's just like completely unique. It solves some kind of specific problem, or it adds up some specific feature that no one have. So that's the thing about Blue Ocean, and I believe it's also pretty good strategy to be in, especially these days with the high CPMs and all that.
Yeah, for sure. So that's quite an important thing. Like if you go to to like skincare or just top kind of categories where are like the biggest e-commerce brands, this is very important, just to like maybe you will be able to sell with a good ROI, with really good ads, but I feel like once you will need to start scaling, you will just start having more and more issues because you don't have any good like unique selling points. People just have a lot of kind of competition to choose from, and if you have anything unique about it, so let's say I remember there was one brand that I just recently saw. So CBD is kind of popping right now, like it's getting more and more popular. So one brand I saw started doing basically acne products, which is very common as well, but they just added CBD, so something different than other brands do. And it's a bit hard sell because of the regulations and all of it, but it's it's a unique selling point, and they're doing quite good, and all the brand is based on kind of CBD kind of vibe, not just like about the whole CBD, but like they're using green colors and just like very calm kind of designs and all of it. So it's very interesting to see like
focused,
so how you can just simply by adding a certain ingredient that is kind of popular, just to differentiate yourself from the competition.
Well, like in your opinion, like as an example, the CBD, of course, it's going to be for you long term. But let's say let's pick some other example. And at the end of the day, my question is like how to actually understand the trends that are going to stay for you long term, and those which are just like simply for another 1 or 2 years, and then they just going to die out. Because if you are positioning your product on the specific feature, on a specific trend, it means that you are basically going all into that. So how to actually not get burned from that type of thing.
I feel like it's quite hard to like know if the trend, like let's say if it's some sort of like a your unique selling point is some sort of problem solution, and like the only question you can ask yourself is if in 10 years people will need the solution to this problem, and if the answer is yes, then probably you are on the right track. But like let's say CBD definitely is not going to be the trend forever, but then if it's trendy right now, and that this kind of ingredient is going to be quite trending for the next 2, 3, 4 years, you can use that to basically create a brand on that. But then actively want to have resources to start creating new products that will have some sort of unique selling points. You can start with the CBD kind of skincare, and then start selling, let's say, skincare with something else, or even go and offer, I don't know, makeup or whatever. But whenever you have a product with some sort of unique selling point that differentiates yourself from the all the competition, it will definitely help you in that kind of top of the funnel, acquiring those customers.
Yeah, and at some point then you can just create some kind of a maybe even another brand. Like I've seen companies, they are just creating one specific brand, and then they just share the pixels, share the data and all that, and they're just kickstarting another one. But my question regarding the category of the product and overall the problem of that you're choosing is like how to understand that you are not going to the market that is already solved, into the problem that is already solved, and most importantly into the audience that are overwhelmed by that type of solution, especially when you're in skincare. Because I've seen that habit in the women audience, that they just pick one brand. If it works, they're going to use that forever. So like how to understand that you are not stepping into the problem and overall category and the product that is just simply already burned out, and there are no longer anything more to offer.
I feel like let's say with skincare, it's super competitive space, so you already know that it's not like burnt out, but it will be hard to
it's hard
to basically start and then scale the brand. It's going to be quite hard just because how competitive the space is. So you right from the gate, you already know. We can actually check how many searches there are about these issues or about these problems on Google Trends. You can see what kind of how many competitors there are, how big are the competitors. So just to have a quite good understanding about the whole competition and how big is the industry, you can actually even Google how big is skincare industry. But I feel like you shouldn't be afraid going into the space just because there are competition. I feel like You just need to be creative with the unique selling points. It could be even like different design or
creative.
Just a different kind of approach to the problem. Maybe you can even like, let's say, offer any info products or any educational products, or you can just offer any different ingredients. This is a very creative process. I feel like you can just go to do research and see how other companies are differentiating themselves. I wouldn't say that you should, look specifically for the products that, there's no way you can start, where you can actually go and it would be an easy competition. If you want to have less competition, you can go select, let's say, skincare, but then go into very small countries or be very local, and not start with US or, UK. So maybe that would be the easier route. But I feel like it shouldn't be stopping you from selecting the product or that category.
Yeah, I believe the good example is like Philip already in watch, niche, because they just took in the fashion and overall apparel. I would say it's pretty big one. There are a lot of different brands in the industry, but they just picked very good approach. I would say not even from the product side. It's more or less from the actual approach and from the angle that they are stepping in into the market. So I believe it's a perfect example of what we are covering right now.
Yeah, but they actually had quite good unique selling point, which was a cheaper watch that is designed as a premium, and it looks premium and it feels premium, with a good cost. And the idea is just, they have a different kind of manufacturing system that they have than, the old traditional kind of watch brands. So that was their kind of unique selling point.
But like you can take that as an example, because as an example, you take the skincare, you take, I don't know, on aging, and then you are taking that as the angle to differentiate yourself from the others. You know what I mean? Like just simply, putting some kind of a value proposition as a unique selling point, or, just simply.
The other way would be to maybe not create a certain unique selling point, but have less competition, would be to specifically target a very kind of specific audience. So let's say you want to do acne or some sort of other products. You can go, let's say, acne only for the older women, or only for, this kind of age women,
or moms.
Yeah, for moms, let's say, because like when I started doing the kind of beauty brand, I understood like how different for like, if you want to really create a really good product, you want to create very personalized products, because like for the older people, you will need a certain kind of ingredients, and it should be a bit different formula to maximize the result. Then for the other audience, it should be a bit different. Like, let's say you have acne. So you have some of the girls have very dry skin, some of them have really oily skin. So for the oily skin, there's one kind of treatment. Then for the dry skin, there's another kind of treatment. So you can even start digging more into specific kind of audience. So niche inside a niche and inside a niche.
The question is how not to, dive deep so much that you won't be able to, scale that brand to, let's say 1-2 million month revenue. Because at some point, if you dig so deep and you pick very specific, problem, very specific audience, that is like, very limited, at some point your brand, overall your solution is just going to be built on, how many products do they need per month, and like what is their reputation basically.
That totally makes sense, but the whole idea just when starting a brand is to make the easiest kind of grounds for yourself to start. Because like, okay, let's say you start a skincare brand only for girls that have dry skin, and it's more for younger girls.
Yeah.
So you're now filtering down, let's say the whole audience is 100% that you can access. So when you filter down, there's only, out of those 100% you can access only 20%. So you basically start your brand by accessing that 20%. Once you start, you can, start, understanding what kind of, how to basically advertise, what kind of video ads, image ads you want to use, what kind of copies you want to use, how the website should look like, basically start optimizing it, putting really good grounds. Also, working with your manufacturer, because that's also is very important to have really good relationships with your manufacturers.
Yeah.
And then once you scale a bit, you can start thinking about, okay, I know that, this audience is very limited. I can only do, let's say, 200K or 500K or 1 million in a month in revenue, but I want to have more space. So, okay, let's create another product. You already have researches to do. And you create a product that is more or less for more general audience. Maybe you can, based on the research you did for the original product, maybe you can now create some sort of very unique selling point, because once you, in that audience and you're working with that audience for, like, let's say 6 months, you'll have so much information about it. And you'll have the audience where you can go and ask, let's say, if it's smart to do kind of product this way, because you can do basically just send in emails with a bunch of questions and then, ask those customers to answer those questions.
Yeah.
And, they can help you to create a second product. And that product could be, more for general audience, more for the girls, the younger girls. And then you have the access, the ability to access that 80% of the audience that was left behind the door. So
yeah, makes sense.
The idea here is just to set the best grounds for yourself, so it would be very easy to sell, basically, and just minimize also the competition. Imagine, what are the competition in the acne space for younger girls, for those who have dry skin. You'll minimize the competition as well for the very competitive space.
Okay, anyways, let's just deep dive right now into things. For anyone listening on Spotify, right now we're just going to share the screen, Domantas, and we are going to show all the nitty-gritty things on like Reddit, Amazon, all those parts. So if you want to see our screen and how it all looks in action, in practice, just go to our YouTube channel called Kandy Agency, and you will find all the information and all the screen sharing and all that. So, but anyways, Domantas, let's continue with the Reddit research, because I believe that's, not every even marketer knows how to use that tool in the proper way. So just walk us through on how you are actually using Reddit to do your research and to understand all those things that we just covered.
Yeah, so basically, I feel like a lot of people know what's Reddit, but even I, before doing research, since we are living in Europe, Reddit is not that popular. But there's so much information inside the Reddit you can use. So I would recommend by just starting reading, some of the things that people write about. And I just, let's say, this is a skincare addiction, so we're researching about the skincare issues. So we can, see what's been trending.
I just have a question, at what type of Reddit you're looking? I mean, from the community size, from let's say, even if we are looking at top trendy topics, at how many comments you're looking for, all the technical part of the Reddit. From your experience.
I feel like I never actually thought about looking at any comments. For this, I just see what's the most trending by apps. And then just see like what people are most interested in. But actually I even got some great ideas just by looking at very new posts.
Okay.
My kind of thought process here is to understand more deeper about the problems in the skincare. So let's say you can see the acne transformation. I can already see that this is a very popular topic. So basically, I'm just reading and I'm looking for problems basically that we could solve. You just read it. You definitely want to spend a lot of time researching. Then
for now we're just like taking the whole point of view how to do those things, but in the practice, in your reality, I believe 1 week isn't enough for the Reddit. We should be spending way more.
Just not only for Reddit, just to answer all the questions. I feel like people definitely should spend a bit time for doing all the research and making sure that everything is on point. So then I would also like seeing the related communities, so that helps you to go even deeper. So let's say you can see already here is acne, then there's skincare, then is 30 plus skincare, which is very interesting. Euro Skin, the ordinary skincare, so that's
a very big brand.
This is quite a big brand. Then it's also a problem that's very hard to pronounce. And so this is basically a guy showing his transformation, basically. And what I'm looking, just more kind of inside info about, the whole category and what kind of problems I could solve. So what kind of issues they're dealing day to day, what kind of side effects they're experiencing, like maybe some sort of side effect that most of the popular products have, or kind of bad thing that they give as well. By solving some sort of issue, maybe I could create something better than most of the popular products have. So basically I just go I just open for anything and everything having to deal with skin. Let's see if we can find anything good. So shaving is one of the things girls do as well. Maybe there are some issues. Acne, aging. You can see a lot of good things. So you can already see a bunch of issues that girls are dealing with. So let's say stretch marks. This is kind of big. And then here you can see, let's see what it shows us. So here, look, here are, I feel like, that's like a solutions that is offering what kind of solutions it's offering for this problem to solve. So, but it's really good. So let's say I want to know more about stretch marks. Let's see if we can find anything for the stretch marks. So this is very small community, see. We need to shut it down. This is definitely not a topic one to go into. This is, I see people are very open about it.
But it's good. It's good to have that kind of audience.
So you can maybe go and do your own research for the stretch marks. I feel like it's quite interesting topic. Let's see, maybe there's some good products, but maybe not for the podcast.
I actually know the brand. I'm not able to share. They're making around 100k daily revenue on that type of product.
So there's definitely a lot of kind of products that could be sold here. But it is quite, I would say, small comparing to like skincare. And you can see already here, there's a pregnant woman. So probably one of the areas you could try to dig more into is, let's say, pregnant women who doesn't want to have
it's big audience.
Yeah. So basically, this is very niche kind of audience you would want to go. And I feel like there's a lot of space to create, and there's a lot of problems. So this could be one of the ways and one of the categories you could go into. But yeah, let's maybe select a bit different topic rather than stretch.
We have shaving.
Yeah, let's see shaving. So again, there is a bunch of
like you have face, you have body, all different areas. Then in those areas you have another like 100 things.
Bleeding when shaving. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, shaving. Maybe shaving. I wanna go and find shaving for girls. But yeah, I'm not sure if we will be able to find it quite quickly.
We actually have pretty trending product these days for shaving for men.
Yeah.
I can't remember the brand.
Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club, but another one, the Gadget. For Manscaped.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
So that's also like Manscaped is also very niche. Also like a very good product. So yeah, you can start seeing kind of issues like shaving, spots of bleeding on legs after shaving. So maybe also another category would be shaving cream for women, which I'm not sure if it's going to be that good product to go in because it's quite cheap, but maybe some people will
it's pretty it's cheap, low AOV, but at the same time we still have at least from my point of view right now, without the research and all that, I feel like we don't have some kind of a unique approach to the shaving cream. They're pretty much all the same. You are just going to the simple market and just buying your shaving cream, at least for me. So if you find that type of behavior of people that they are doing, it's still a thing you can change with your product.
Yeah, and I know that for some girls, when they shave, let's say legs, after one or few days it becomes very itchy. So maybe that could be also like one of the products you can sell is basically like stop itch kind of product after shave, or maybe like after shave kind of lotion that really holds on, and then
you can try to look for in the Reddit.
But I feel like these kind of answers you can only find when you spend 1 to 2 hours at least going through Reddit and then opening all of those kind of these topics and then reading all of it, and then basically just selecting and trying to understand more about what kind of issues they have in skincare than in shaving, and then shaving legs, let's say. And then you can also go in Google or on YouTube. YouTube is actually very good with very specific issues. We can actually try and see if we can have anything. And just understand more about shaving.
Yeah, also pretty similar space is Facebook groups.
Legs for girls. And yeah, just start, kind of watching the videos. And seeing what kind of, they will definitely it will be out of context, basically saying, there's this issue, then this issue, and just doing your research and then going deeper into the issue. But this process, the first step of this process is basically, as we showed, going from understanding the problems that's happening in the women's space, then going a bit more deeper, which we selected skincare, and now we're at shaving, which is very specific. And then shaving, we selected like legs, which is also like super specific. And now you already know, okay, we can offer some sort of products to shaving, and what kind of product that could be. So this is that's the process we want to show.
Yeah.
But I feel like the easiest way would be to start with acne, just because how many of products there are, and it will be the easiest way to show the following kind of situation, just because
for sure.
Yeah, it's just we know quite a bit of those products and the COGS and all of it. So let's say you selected acne and you want to solve acne issue for the girls, for the younger ones. So when you selected a category and the products, so for acne, yeah, that would be like some sort of like problem solution. So when you selected that, so you can start now by looking at Amazon or any other kind of
are you looking into the Alibaba and all those things, or it's like after you pick the product?
You can actually look at Alibaba. I feel like the best kind of, for me, the best ideas and just understanding more about the industry comes from looking at Amazon. Alibaba is more for the manufacturers. You can look at AliExpress, but still, like, I feel like the best space to look about for the different products is Amazon, and then also looking at the competitors basically in the space that are quite big. And you can see, like, okay, Amazon first of all is concentrating more for the cheaper products. So you cannot think that this price is going to be on your
for sure.
e-commerce. That's definitely not true. But you can start looking at different kind of solutions.
Just to understand what is happening in
the
space.
So you can start by looking at it and then thinking about what kind of solutions you could offer. So this is like a drop shipping thing, but the price point is really good. So you can even look at this, let's say, and basically just start looking what kind of best solutions that are offered in the space. From my own experience, and that's basically we are going more deeper into understanding if the product is right and what kind of products you want to choose. So the AOV is very important, especially now for Facebook when CPMs are increasing. The CPA is also increasing, and it's
for sure. Maybe you can be more specific, like at what range we are looking at right now.
I would say that ideally I would want to sell it for, let's say, acne or for beauty. I would want to sell my top of the funnel product for $80 to $100 or even over $100.
It's for the product, or you can also do some kind of bundles, and what area you would pick.
So basically I would probably do a bundle and just bundle up some of the products. So you can start by basically adding this mask. So you just need to know, like, what kind of what is this best solution is.
You can just look like and frequently bought together on Amazon, try to look from there.
Or actually by looking top acne brands. Let's see what we can find. Let's see just what we can find actually, because like what is selling in the industry.
I believe you can just add up e-commerce brands just for better.
Let's add it. Top e-commerce. Let's see what we can find. And let's see what they're selling. But most of them is going to be selling the bundles. If you want to be profitable at the top of the funnel, if you can afford not being profitable, you can sell just one product.
But then I believe you need some kind of backup plan for subscription, maybe back-end offers and all that.
Sure, but that's there's different kind of I don't see anything here. There's different kind of ways to to approach a situation. Maybe you have investment, or you have your own money, or you have a very kind of interesting strategy going on, because like once you have a customer, you can sell to that customer multiple times. So maybe you have a genius plan to lose money in the beginning but then earn at the end.
Or maybe you have just a genius plan of losing money all the time, and then you're just exiting for 100 mil.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could be also the way, just growing the brand that kind of way. So we need to like think about how you want to approach the whole situation. The way I approached was basically building a bundle. So I can actually open the brand I know that are big in the acne space. So, and just to show an idea like how the bundle looks like. So you could apply this strategy for the other kind of spaces, and just take this an example. So let's say this, this is very expensive one, and then you can take.
Yeah, I believe like for even for the back end, for the bundles, you still need to measure like different bundles. Like maybe one bundle could be for your top of the funnel, another one would be as your third, fourth purchase. Another one maybe it could be set to be a bundle for a second purchase. Regarding the price, how it's built, how many products, and all that. I believe you simply cannot go all the way into the one bundle and expect that all people in your funnel are going to buy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So I feel like that's definitely the case. You just wanna leave those things more for later, because as an owner and as a founder of new e-commerce brand, all you wanna concentrate is basically how you can create the product or get the product, brand it, and then sell it as fast as possible with the highest ROI as possible.
Yeah.
And then get that good grounds to grow from, because before you're actually starting the brand until you start selling it, you're losing money. And when you start advertising, probably also you're losing money, because it's very hard to get a really good ROI right from the gate.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to keep your focus on a very certain thing, and just be very focused on what you want to sell, and just not be kind of very brand driven, where I want to sell to huge audience already. I want to compete with big brands.
I want to be Apple.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So we just want to start very small, very specific. And let's say an example for this one is basically a clear skin kit. So basically they're targeting an acne kind of audience, and they bundle it and they name it as a clear skin. So basically this is going to solve your issue if you have acne, and you can justify the cost because you have 5 products in it, and all the products is super premium, and where here you're selling just one product for the specific issue. So you can add those few products, bundle up all of them, and then increase the cost, so it could have quite profitable top of the funnel.
Yeah, or maybe your bundle, it could also be involved with some gadgets that helps you to use that product, maybe some kind of accessories that you could put in, and all those parts.
Yeah, sure. So, we can even try to go with smaller bundles, let's say this, and then add some sort of applier. There are multiple ways how you can apply the cream and the mask. And then maybe upsell something later down the line. So this is as I mentioned before, this is a creative process. And this is just one way to do it, but there's 100 different other ways how you can approach and then select the right product and bundle it up, or use just one product, or maybe use the product and then have some sort of accessory.
At the end of the day, it's still, a way to raise your AOV. But let's say we have that AOV in place. What's next?
Yeah, so basically, just to put the right action items in place for the product research. So yeah, just go through a ton of different products and see what are the best solutions that it's offering, and maybe what kind of ways you can do to increase that AOV, or maybe even like this one product is like enough to have quite good AOV for the top of the funnel offer. Once you have it, then you can start digging more for understanding more about the product. So first of all, you want to know if this product is going to be repeat seller. Like this is like
lifetime value.
Yeah, basically, and basically like you want to have customers that comes again to your brand, and that's very important because that what gives you quite stable grounds. When you stop advertising, you still have revenue that you can live off, or something bad happens, or you have very low ROI for some sort of, like, let's say now in the beginning of summer, Facebook and iOS introduced changes, and basically some of the brands had quite hard time advertising and selling profitably, and let's say you have quite high retention rate. So yes, you have lower revenue, but still you have the revenue that you can live off.
Or you have the subscription in place and you can just turn off the ads and just sit down and relax for a bit.
So that's why I feel like, yes, maybe you can scale the brand and be quite good and profitable with not having a lot of repeat customers. But I feel like I really want to set up the brand right from the gate, that I know that it's going to be secure and we have the best kind of grounds to go with. So that's first thing. So with acne, or we're talking about any beauty products, skincare, all of them will have repeat customers, just because, like, let's say for the acne, you need at least 3-4 months to use it to see the result. Then you can also offer other skincare products. Then you can do some sort of subscription, and maybe some of them will really like some of the creams or oils to use as their skincare routine, and then they're going to be lifetime basically customers. So that's why you need also, when you're selecting the product, just to understand that having that high retention rate in place is going to be very important, and that's why you need to look for the products and bundles and niche that is going to have this thing in place. Yeah, so this is quite an easy thing to find out. Then then the question, if this category doesn't have any, like if the product, let's say you sell, I don't know, in the beginning of COVID, people were selling like small accessories to open door without touching with your hand. So okay, this is not product where you will have a lot of repeat customers. In fact, you won't have any repeat customers, even if you do quite good marketing. But then, like, think about what kind of other complementary products you can offer so you could create that repeat customers. So maybe you can have, for that code, maybe some wipes or maybe some soaps, or
it's not only
liquids.
about the main product.
Yeah,
it's all about maybe you're selling, as you mentioned, maybe you're selling some kind of, I don't know, like what to pick, but the whole idea behind it is to have maybe your main product on top of the funnel is the one that doesn't have some kind of repeatability, but maybe it has some additional usability to put on and to offer something that has that in place.
Yeah, so yeah, for sure you need to get a bit creative with this one as well. As I mentioned, this is a very creative process.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's so many ways to do and create that repeat customer rate without having a product, the original like top of the funnel product that's going to have a high repeat customers. Just by adding those maybe complementary products is going to make your way. So yeah, just need to be creative on it and just think more deeper into it. So once you have and you are sure that this product is going to have a good repeat customers.
A quick interruption. At what retention rate you are looking at? I mean, like what would be your goal?
For my goal would be to have at least 20 to 30% repeat customer rate.
It's the worst case scenario, right?
Yeah, that's like a baseline, a minimum that I want to achieve. And then go up from there. But then going up from there, it really depends on the audience and the product to sell. Let's say if it's like a skincare product, it's quite easy to, with really good marketing and then with good products, you can really go to like 50 to 60% and even higher for sure. But some products have quite difficult moments to go to that 20%. But I feel like 20-30% is like the benchmark where you wanna that's like the first goal, and then let's go further. But like that 20 to 30% is like good.
Yeah. But okay, we have the AOV, we have the retention rate in place. But what about the COGS? I mean, it's a pretty important part.
Yeah, so what my rule for COGS is basically is about 20% or less the comparing to the selling price. Basically, if I see that the competition is selling the product for 80, 100 over $100, let's say, and they're selling some sort of bundles or certain products, I want to be in that 20% category with the shipping price. So usually it's very hard to do when you're just starting out, because like if you start talking with the manufacturers, usually they can offer you really high price, and sometimes it's like 2, 3, 4, 5x higher than you could get buying, let's say, 10,000 of the product rather than buying 100 products.
Maybe there are some kind of a workaround, maybe some kind of a grow hack that you could use in that type of scenario. I mean, like maybe you can start with just testing out the product with 100, or maybe even pre-order, or maybe drop shipping, whatever. Just take a look at how it works and then start, thinking about it. What's your idea behind it?
There's definitely ways to do it. So many of them. Like I heard people are trying to sell the product without even having the product. They just sell it and then refund the people money just to see if they would buy it. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it. Then what the route I took, and I feel like it was kind of a cheat. I basically took a product that the manufacturer was basically already had it, and the formula, the formula, the packaging, the design, all of it. Basically, I just took several products and then created a bundle, and then name it for a certain issue. And basically that was my kind of first product. And so I didn't need to pay, 1,000 to 5K, for one specific formula, because that's like approximately how much manufacturers charge for the formula. Yeah. And I just got the product. I explained, that coming from the marketing background, I'm creating my own e-commerce. This is a huge possibility to them as well.
It's like a sales pitch.
Yeah, basically just need to sell them your idea. You're going to pay for all of it, but still like manufacturers really want to understand that you are quite big, or there's also potential investing time into you. So basically, that was my kind of way to do it. So I started really quickly, and I got product really quickly, and I got for a really good price, to be honest. But in most cases, it will be a different story. You will need to pay quite a bit of money for the manufacturing, creating the product, and basically making the investment right from the gate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like at what number we are looking at? I mean, like we can talk in like, I don't know, 2x, 3x, 4x your retail price and your COGS, like at what numbers you would aim?
Yeah, so it really depends on the product, but let's say if we are selling some sort of like cream or like a skincare mask or like oil for the face, we can sell it for like $20-$30. It really depends on the product. Like the price really depends on the product.
Yeah.
And the COGS should be about 20% of that price plus the shipping price. But it's usually quite hard to get it from the gate. So how I usually look at it is basically when you're talking with the manufacturer, so you want to ask them like, what is the price going to be if I order 5,000 of these units? How much is going to be like if I order 10 to 20,000? And if this product, the future is going to be 20% COGS and even less than that, that's a really good start. That's where you want to, that means you have quite a good future for it.
So you are looking for more or less for a future.
Yeah, basically, because it's going to be very hard to find that 20% kind of COGS rule, because like when you start calculating the shipping cost, then how much it makes to make the product, then ship it to your fulfillment, then package it, then ship it, and like when you start calculating all those costs, it's going to be very hard to be in that 20% kind of rule. But so that's why you want to look at kind of the future plans, because like once you start scaling, you can order more products. You can select a better shipping company, a better fulfillment company that offers you maybe good quality service, but also cheaper ones.
You're already big, so you just have that leverage.
Yeah. So that's why, basically just need to focus on that 20% COGS rule or even less. I see different e-commerce businesses succeed with higher COGS for sure. There's no way that there's like it's a must to have 20% or less. But I would think that, again, for me, I just want to have the best grounds. And if you have higher COGS, then when you're scaling, usually for when you're advertising on Facebook, on TikTok, whatever, when you start scaling, the ROI goes down. And then at some point, you're going to be on the break-even level on the high scale. So you just want to have as much space as possible to make profit and not go to minus.
And at what, like, let's say we are calculating the break-even ROI.
Yeah.
So what like number you would aim for if all the your expenses you have with the brand? Let's say you are running the ads, you don't have any kind of agency doing it. So with like the product, the fulfillment, the packaging, and all that, what would be the number, the break-even ROI that you would aim for?
This is quite simple to answer. Is basically the lowest as possible. But I feel like for me it was about 1.4, 1.3 at this kind of level. I was breaking even, which is I feel like was kind of good, because like my COGS was like low, and then I got quite good shipping partners, and they offered me really good prices. And that's why I had from the gate I had really low break even. But if you can even push further, like let's say your break even is like 1.1, I feel like it's super hard to do it, because like imagine how much products should cost and all the shipping. But with a scale, I feel like you can optimize the shipping, the COGS, and all the other things to make it low. And when I calculate the COGS and the break even, I'm not including my costs or or the kind of internal cost, which maybe I should do actually when you just mention it. I'm mainly calculating the product costs, the shipping costs, so that includes shipping to the customer and shipping to the fulfillment center, basically. And so.
Well, like, okay, so let's say we have, the product and the cogs in place. We look that, the upcoming like 1 year, we'll have it at around, I would say 1.2, 1.3x break even. But like, are you looking into the fact that is it hard to actually create and get that product, or it's easy? Like, I mean, in terms of manufacturers and overall the price. Maybe you need to deal with China, and which these days it's pretty hard to deal with. Maybe you need to deal with like some kind of little local manufacturer. So like my question at the end of the day is like, are you looking for that how hard it is to create and overall get that product in the warehouse?
You are talking mainly about, is it hard actually to create that product, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, is it a place you are measuring the product for? I mean, like, as an example, if you find, let's say, some kind of I don't know, high-end skincare product, but it's hard to actually manufacture and get that in your US warehouse, that you won't need that. Or maybe you found maybe not so high-end, maybe even less less better offer and product overall, but it's easy to get, then you're going to go with it. So my question at the end of the day is like, at what area you're looking for in terms of how hard it is.
I feel like it also like depends how much work you want to put in, because like if it's a very specific product or it offers quite incredible solution, or there's like huge issue but there's no many brands that actually had a real very good solution to the product, then I feel like you will need to do a ton of research, invest a ton of money to create that product. So then it depends, the harder the product is going to be to create, the more money and time I feel like you will need to put in. So it depends on you, like how much resources do you have and can put it into this project. So I would definitely go with the easier kind of product that has good grounds, that had good COGS, that has its repeat customer rate, that can satisfy the customer, and you can have that good AOV, and you're pretty familiar with this product in the audience. So yeah, I would go with the easier one. There's definitely ways to go with the harder product, the create. I feel like then maybe you would have less competition, and then you would have maybe those kind of USPs that we talked in the beginning. But then imagine that you would need to invest more money into it and time.
And maybe at some point you just won't have enough stock to cover your scale or something like that.
Yeah, like if it's selling well, I feel like you can easily get some sort of investment or a partner, or you can even like to create this difficult product, you can actually go and find, let's say for the skincare, go and find some sort of product developer that works in this space and can create the products, and maybe they have some sort of partnerships with the manufacturers, and they can create quite cheaply difficult products, and you can, let's say, spend 6 months into research and development, and then let's say you work with that partner, and then you work as a marketer.
Yeah, I mean, like more or less, like as an example, for you to better understand what I'm talking to. What I mean, it's hard. Is like, as an example, I just had a conversation with the guy who's creating, the shaker and it's pretty much like, the standard, how the standard shaker works.
Yeah.
But it uses those magnets on which, like, you just take that shaker, you put it on a magnet, and it works like, the standard shaker, the pretty big one.
Yeah.
And in his case, what happened actually is right now, as you know, I'm not sure if you're aware of like the overall situation with like energy crisis, with like overall lack of metals and all that stuff. But in this case, he simply doesn't have enough resources, not from the money side, not from the manufacturers and all that, but simply he doesn't have that magnet in place to actually manufacture. And right now he's just closed his marketing department for at least 1 year. So that's the thing. Of course, if you are big, like in as an example in the cars industry, if you are Tesla, then you will get at least a few thousand, to manufacture, because you are big and you just need that revenue in place.
Yeah.
But yeah, these days, of course, it's not going to stay forever.
Yeah.
The energy crisis and all those parts, but still, it's a thing you should also measure.
Yeah. So basically, if it's this kind of situation where you don't have and cannot have the ingredients or the product, then that's going to be quite difficult to move forward. But I feel like this is a very specific situation, and you can just continue the research.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like more or less I'm just trying to avoid people getting into complex solutions, because like when you're researching, it can happen that you are just bouncing your head in the wall, trying to find a solution, and at the end of the day you just come up with some kind of very complex solution that first point you are going to be the buyer, you won't have the audience for it, and second of all, it's just like you won't have the manufacturer, and it will cost you a lot, and you are going to raise your costs and all those parts. So I'm just trying to avoid that, that complexity.
Yeah, I totally get it. I feel like then it also like depends on the person. Like let's say for me, I started working with the skincare, with the hair care products, which is beauty, which is it was kind of easy to get into and start, and the whole solution and all of it was kind of easy. I feel like for the next brand, once I scale this one, I feel like I would want to have a higher kind of challenge, and I feel like that would be for me a bigger challenge to maybe take a kind of problem that is harder to solve. It requires more money or more research, or let's say finding some of the ingredients that it's very hard to find. And creating it. So it then depends on the person's experience. If they want to have kind of harder challenge, because like for me this is basically fun to do, like, and all those challenges is just like you just want to overcome it, and this is like just enjoying the whole process of it. So I feel like if the person do have a lot of experience and want to have less competition and maybe some sort of better kind of positioning in the industry, and maybe
patent.
Maybe patent, or some sort of basically offer solution that most of the companies cannot offer, and just have really good grounds for the marketing. And like if you have this kind of position, trust me, like there's so many agencies and so many investors that will want to take you on their kind of belt and help you to scale it.
For sure. Like we currently have the patented product actually in the toy niche. It goes like crazy. You're just running ads. You don't have the competition.
So maybe it's much harder to create, but then the other kind of point, you'll have much easier time when you're scaling and selling to this product. So so it depends on the person and the experience, but I feel like both ways, the easiest and the easier and then the harder kind of routes is good ways to approach it.
Yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, how you're actually looking for that product.
Just before we're going into like actually looking for the manufacturers and how to find, who is going to make the products. the last part about the products and make sure, just another check, so whether you can actually satisfy the customer, because this is quite important, because if you cannot satisfy the customer, what's the solution you can offer? So let's say from my own experience, I was looking at the product that solves wrinkles and cellulite, basically, and I was looking at possible solutions. I found multiple oils, multiple accessories. I was even bundle up all of those products. The COGS looked amazing. The AOV looked really good. It had repeat customer rate. It had all the other things. But when I started going more deeper into the solutions and kind of customer reviews, I understood that the biggest kind of thing that helps the cellulite and the wrinkles is actually sports, then nutrition, and then water intake, and all of those things that is external. So then can you actually fully satisfy the customer with your products? It's actually hard. Then do I see the future for this product? Yes, but this is very hard. It's going to be very hard to satisfy the customer.
Yeah, you just need product that works.
Yeah.
You won't have that retention rate.
Yeah.
That not working.
So it's definitely possible to go with this kind of product, but I just didn't feel like for me it's justifies the problem solution that I'm going to offer is good enough. So maybe that could be a harder route to find out how you can actually remove the cellulite without actually doing the sport. Maybe you can create some sort of interesting product, but I just didn't want to go to this route. So that's basically the last part. That's also quite kind of important to
it's definitely important.
To go through your head when you are selecting the product. Okay, so once you actually selected the product and you know what you want to sell, let's say the
maybe
bundle.
we can pick one just to be more practical. Let's say we we pick this acne product. And then how to actually find one, all the cogs and where to look for it, all that.
Yeah, so I feel like it will be a bit hard to find all the exact cogs, but we can try to go into Alibaba. That would be the Chinese supplier.
It's your main area you are stepping in?
No. So for the skincare, I wouldn't trust Alibaba. I just maybe would want to look at least how much those products are selling for. So let's say this one is okay. Let's find acne cream. So basically you start looking at the costs for the products, and you can see that those product costs about $2,
so
$3,
just to get a better idea of what to look for.
And basically what you can make in the Chinese suppliers. But I feel like if you go into skincare and if you just want to have a bit higher quality product, if we're talking just about skincare, I feel like you should go more local. Let's say if you are in US, you can look for and Google US manufacturers, manufacturing companies, and start looking at what you can contact. And this is very kind of old school process, basically. By looking just different companies, and you can actually go very specific manufacturing.
I also heard that there are companies, I believe in Germany. Germany is the place for those, where they are just selling, the formulas and for skincare products, and they also have pretty big contact list of manufacturers. So you just buy the formula from them and you get the manufacturer. So you just simply don't need to worry about, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So then another route would be basically to look for not the manufacturer, but to go and start talking with product developers. So you can find them on Upwork, on different platforms as well, because those people will have partnerships with different manufacturers, and they have access to different ingredients. So maybe that would be even the easier route kind of go to. But maybe you have, let's say, already some sort of manufacturers that you would want to go, or maybe someone recommended you something that is quite good. You can go and contact manufacturers or go with the product developers and see what they can offer. If we're talking about more kind of accessories or like yoga products, clothing, electronics, watches, and all of that kind of categories, I feel like Alibaba could be a very good route. I know there's so many different really high quality brands that design their products inside their country, let's say it's in US, and then outsource and create the products in China.
Apple.
Apple, basically. So you can go and, let's say, clothing, type clothing, and you will find a bunch of different manufacturers you can contact. Let's say,
do you have experience with dealing with Chinese suppliers? I mean, directly contacting them, trying to get a better price, try to understand what's the process there, because from my experience it's crazy, it's crazy.
So I personally never created any brand that required a Chinese manufacturer, but I did talked with a bunch of manufacturers in China. So it's definitely a difficult process for sure, because some of them won't know that English properly. Then a lot of the Chinese people will want to scam you and then offer higher prices. Then the quality could be bad. They could send you one product as an example, then you can design it, and then once you're ready to order, let's say 1,000 units, then the quality is going to be different. So there's so many different scams and different kind of ways they try to take advantage of you. So definitely don't want to be very naive when you're dealing with Chinese. But for sure, there's good apples as well in the Alibaba space, and you can find good suppliers that are going to make your quality product. So basically my point is that not all of them is going to be bad. So that's why you need to contact a bunch of them and see which fits the best, and then ask them, okay, let's say you want to create a very custom kind of clothing or electronic or accessory, go and talk with those manufacturers to find on Alibaba and see what kind of things they're offering.
In terms of clothing, we also have Portugal, we also have Turkey. They're pretty good at it. So also don't be that's a good point. Don't be afraid to go and contact those manufacturers as well. With this kind of process, it should be very old school. You need to use your phone, call them directly. Don't be afraid to talk, email them, schedule a call with them. It's just basically when you have no contacts, it's going to be quite hard. And for me, it was, I basically knew what kind of products I want to sell, but I just didn't know what kind of how I can actually find someone. I was looking at Chinese and it didn't look good for me. And my way was very kind of niche. I went to my local suppliers list and I contacted a bunch of manufacturers, and one of them actually had their own brand and they were selling quite well. So basically I already saw the products online, and I told them, okay, I want this and this and this product. I want to use the same design. I just want to change the brand, and they agreed on it. And that was my way, basically finding manufacturers, just by looking at different manufacturers in the local space and also looking at the brands that are selling similar products and basically also contacting them.
So as I said, this is very kind of creative process. There's so many ways to approach it, and that's same for looking for those manufacturers.
Yeah. But like pretty broad question.
Yeah.
But, let's try to answer that one. Like, in what number of like sample orders you would aim for if you want, just to have that perfect product in your on your brand?
Yeah. So for me, it depends on the product. Now you can, let's say you're making accessory or clothing, you can get one or a few samples to see like what kind of material they're using, how they feel, how they wash, and then after like let's say a week or a month of using it, how does it look and how does it feel, so basically the longevity of the product. For the skincare and then for the beauty products, you actually want to give them to your direct users. So for me it was kind of hard because like I'm not a girl and I don't have those problems that I was trying to solve. So I needed to give those products to someone that have those issues and then ask their like opinion. Let's say, what do you feel about it? Like, is it good? Is it solve their problem, etc. So I feel like that would be the way to do it, just to give, get, let's say if you want to really give a good test, get 5-10 pieces of products, and then get 5 to 10 girls or boys to basically of your direct audience to test it and give the feedback. And then once you have this information, you can go to the manufacturer and say, okay, we need to customize this, change this, and change that. So yeah.
For sure. But like as you know, like you, in your case, you just manufactured, you start running, and then you start doing everything from scratch. So maybe you can just walk us through on what happened and overall like answer the question of like how much time you actually need to fully prove that your sample or your overall product that you already have in place works, and how much time you need for your feedback and all that stuff.
So for the clothing, accessories, and all those products, it's very quick. Let's say you're selling a yoga mat, you can get the product, you can test it out and see if you like it. You can give it to your direct audience and see how they like it. They're going to give you very quick response. You can then wait for 7 to 30 days and see how they feel about and how the product lasts. But for the skincare and for the beauty products, it's a bit difficult because like if you are offering some sort of solution, usually those solutions comes in when you are using it for 4, 6, 8, 9, 12 weeks. It's a long process. So the longer you test, the better results and the better kind of knowledge you have about your products. So it really depends on how much time you have. So you can actually start selling it right away with the solution, but then you need to take into consideration that you will have risk of people that is not satisfied with your product because maybe it still needs a lot of research and development to have that desired solution, and your business can basically break because you cannot offer that. You're basically selling a snake oil. It depends really on the products and what kind of manufacturer, what kind of product developer you have. Maybe you have really high-end team and they can create really fast those products. But for the skincare, it usually is like 4-5 months, just because you need to get the documents, you need to tests about the stability of the product. You also need to design it, like the whole bottle. There's so many ways. And also, like, you need to prepare basically the plan, how you're going to explain how to use it as well. Like, you need to test it and see, like, so there's so many things we need to do, and it's not a very quick process, to be honest. So for me, it took 4 or 5 months just to get a really good product. But I actually got my first product very quickly just because it was already created. But then when I wanted to update it and upgrade it and make it much better, that's where I spent it like 4 or 5 months at least into like investing and working on it.
Okay, and last few questions just before we wrap up everything. In your opinion, like, where do you see trends going in terms of overall product development and creating the actual brand from scratch? Like, let's pick top 3 trends in your opinion.
Yeah, I feel like, the whole space, I feel like definitely is developing more and more. Like, it's definitely like it's much harder to get into, just because you can see that, the new upcoming brands, they usually offer better solutions. The packaging, the designs are more high quality, and they spend more time into research and development, and they always try to kind of try to create something new or something better. So I feel like the trend is very kind of stable. It always go up in the quality wise. So yeah, it's actually quite hard to answer this question, because I truly don't know the answer to it, to be very honest.
Okay, but like you are saying that, it's going to be more competitive. So, what comes with competitive market in your opinion? I mean, like, maybe you should be focusing on your packaging. Maybe you should be focusing on some unique points. Like, overall, those, areas you should be focusing to be successful.
Yeah, I feel like the number one thing is you need to keep in mind that you're selling the products not to robots or not to someone that has nothing in their head. You're selling to the people, and you want to make sure that you're offering the best solution that is possible, and always working on your offer, basically to offer a better product, better price, better solution to your audience. And I feel like that's like the most important thing. Maybe the products that you are selling right now, maybe it's not going to be a good offer in 3 years, let's say, or some products are not good to sell in summer. So you need to think about what else you can create. How can you improve it all to make it better? And if you don't improve, if you stay with the same products, there's going to be huge issues because your competitors are improving, and at some point the customers will start trying out your competitor products, and then maybe you'll start losing the customers. So yeah, I feel like it's it's quite stable. You just need always to kind of be on top of your industry and follow all the competitors, what they're doing, and try to always create something new, something different. Like when I worked with a bunch of different clients, the ones that did a bunch of different product launches and were creating multiple new products, new designs, they were doing very good. Like every 6 months, let's say, they create something new, and that's they have huge window of time when they're relevant and they're can sell the product. People are very excited about those products, and as I said, those brands did really good, and it was quite easy to advertise them because they always try to elevate themselves. They try to create something new.
For sure. And my last question is where you are actually learning those things in terms of product development and how you are keeping up with the pace of the market in the product development space.
So I learned it the basics, just basically the what I explained today through books, through YouTube videos, through research and analyzing how other people, go and research and do all of this process. So there is no like very specific kind of ways to learn, I feel like, at least not for me. One book that I could really recommend was 1 Million in 12 Months. Don't remember the writer because it was quite a long time ago, but he has quite a big podcast, so I will be able to share this book maybe in the description.
Yeah, in the description.
So that was because that was just like an eye-opening, like how to do basically how to start a brand without having that much revenue, like basically money in the pocket. Like what is the easiest, the cheapest, and the best way to do it, and he explained quite good, like he was using Amazon, and he was explaining like how to create your own audience, how to do the research, how to come up with the product. And he actually was going also from the like reverse engineering, which was like what audience you want to sell, and basically all those stuff. So that was my main book, I feel like. But I feel like there's so many also other books that tell the same thing. So yeah, just start reading more books regarding this topic. Just look at Google and what people are recommending, regarding the kind of starting your own e-commerce business, and maybe doing research. Also, YouTube is quite good as well, like covering these topics, so at least getting some ideas.
Just guys don't get into dropshippers.
Yeah.
Too much.
So so also like Facebook groups is quite good. You can ask people some questions somewhere where is always the newest information. So
network people, network like product developers and Upwork, with like some brand owners and all that type of stuff.
I feel like the brand owners, like I feel like what we have talked today is just like one way of 100 different ways to do it, because like if you talk with the brand owners, we'll see like that their process was totally different. Maybe some of their products came from their hobbies, or maybe a buddy of them recommended, or I don't know, they just walked into some store and they saw the product and they're like, shit, this is a really good idea.
A lot of guys, they are just like they just have that problem, and they are just solving for themselves,
basically. So I feel like I actually was very jealous of those clients of ours when I was working in the agency. Basically, when the client comes and he is the user of the product, he is kind of the person that needed a solution, because then it's so easy to like create marketing, because like you just need to ask the questions to yourself, like, is it good to use? Is it good copy? Is it good headline? Is it, is this, video ad is going to attract your attention? It's so easy to go about it.
Because you are the target audience.
Because you're the target audience. So I was very jealous about it, but unluckily for me, I never had any like good idea in my head that I always wanted to solve it. I needed to do huge research before I could find any of the ideas. And now I have so many different ideas what I would want to do next, just because I keep, researching, or maybe just having in mind to add some notes about something that I just do day to day. And
Nice. Okay, Domantas, we covered a lot of different points right now. I would say around 2 hours we were talking.
Almost,
And but we still covered, as you mentioned, it's one of the 100 ways to actually run through that process. So guys, make sure you always find the best one for yourself. I believe we just covered one of the most complex ones for you, just to understand, all those main points and areas you should be focusing on. And I believe we are going to do the second episode of with Domantas on like how to actually market that type of product, like we just, covered all those points and like actually how to do the research and how to come up with the product, but then how to actually start from zero and go all the way up to, let's say, 1 million of revenue. So I believe that's going to be the second episode, but for today, it's more than enough information for you to go and research. And just make sure you have the product till our next episode when we're covering marketing part. And that's it. And Domantas, thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for talking to almost 2 hours about your experience and about how you are doing things in terms of product research. And right now, like how people can find you if they have some additional questions in areas where they are confused.
I feel like the easiest way to find me would be, I just launched my own personal website, which is goodstrategist.com. So I had a bit more backstory about myself, and I also uploading blog posts there, and I'm planning also to do some videos about just covering some marketing tips and all of it. So if anyone has any questions, you can just basically reach me through there. I do have an email there, and also links to my social medias, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
Goodstrategist.com, right?
Goodstrategist.com.
Strategist or strategies?
Strategist.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. And actually I have a full blog of covering the marketing tips and how to approach it, and also had covering this topic, but it wasn't that detailed. So I feel like for the next podcast we could go even deeper with the marketing, which is actually is even, I feel like, even a bigger part of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like right now we took 2 hours, and for the marketing part I would say we need at least 4.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot for the invitation as well. Like I really enjoy the time being here and basically sharing. And I really hope at least some of the people had some of the values that from what we have talked, and some of the people who also struggling as I was struggling in the beginning, researching the products. I hope this is going to help them to find the right product, and it's going to answer the questions that they always been looking for.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks a lot, guys, for staying us for that long, and see you on another episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.